Hello, welcome to Education First, where education is first priority. I'm your instructor, Miss Jade Tinley. Today, we'll be looking at energy transfer in the ecosystem by looking at food chain. Look at the following energy sources. Can you tell the order in which they'll appear in a food chain? Don't erase your answers. We'll get back to this activity at the end and you'll get an opportunity to make corrections. Every living thing needs energy to survive. Every time you do something, such as run, jump, or dance, you use energy. Animals get energy from food, while plants use sunlight, water, and nutrients to get energy. This process is known as photosynthesis. A food chain shows how each living thing gets food and how nutrients and energy are passed from one creature to another. Food chains always begin with a plant and end with an animal. The plant is known as a producer because it makes its own food. Animals are known as consumers because they eat and don't make their own food. There are three types of consumers depending on the number of animals in the food chain. Primary consumers are animals that eat the producers. They are called herbivores or eaters of plants only, but they can be omnivores, which are eaters of both plants and animals. Secondary consumers are organisms that eat the primary consumers. They can be either carnivores, eaters of animals only, or omnivores, eaters of both plants and animals. Tertiary consumers eat the secondary consumers. They are also known as the apex predator because they are at the top of the food chain. They consume energy from all other levels. How is a food chain created? The food chain consists of the producer and consumers and arrows to show the energy transfer. So, if we have a plant and it is eaten by a grasshopper, an arrow would point from the plant to the grasshopper. If the grasshopper is then eaten by a rat, an arrow would point from the grasshopper to the rat. The rat is then eaten by a snake. An arrow would point from the rat to the snake. Look at the food chain that was created. Can you answer these questions? 1. What begins all food chain? 2. Where did these producers get the energy they need? 3. How many consumers are in the food chain? 4. What do the arrows in the food chain represent? 5. Does the energy in the ecosystem stop with the snake? Pause the video and answer these questions. Check to see if your answers are correct. For number 1, producers begin all food chain. 2. The energy comes from the sun. 3. There are 3 consumers in the food chain. 4. The arrows represent energy transfer. And 5. No, the ecosystem does not stop with the snake because the snake can be eaten by another consumer, or when the snake dies, it decomposes and will aid to nourish other producers. Having learnt about food chains, look back at the introductory activity and make the necessary corrections. Is this your answer? Plant, eaten by grasshopper, eaten by frog, eaten by snake, eaten by eagle. Good job! Thanks for watching Education First. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and click the notification bell to know when new content is posted.